and women should prove themselves to each other.
Why?
All right, because okay, in relationships, it's a give and take, right? You have to get to that point of getting to marriage. Pitch with you, you're saying, okay, he has worked his way up. A lot of
Okay,
women,
who has to get to that point?
both.
No, that's where you're wrong.
Why
No,
do you feel that way?
I don't feel that way. I think.
Okay,
See, women control access to sex. We have to work our way up to sex with you. True or false?
true.
Right. You have to work your way up to marriage with us.
Right.
Well, no, it's
Right.
not right because you just
All right, I see you shaking your head already. Give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts?
I mean, he definitely makes a point. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if a woman says no, it's kind of
Dead.
that's yeah, for the most part, dead should be dead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a man usually is the one that's proposing to a woman,
Yeah.
so he really is the ring holder at the end of the day. So
Hey.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So, do you agree with the statement that women control the access to sex and men control the access to relationships?
to marriage. I wouldn't say relationship.
You wouldn't say why. Why would you? You wouldn't say
Because I
relationships.
think relationship is different. Like there's different levels to the relationship, but marriage at the you don't agree.
I'm letting you finish. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, like
Talk
so,
your
like back
shit.
to my point, back to like marriage. Like
Uh
at
huh.
the end of the day, like he's the ultimate, like the ring holder. So like if you go through this whole relationship and at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day he still don't propose, y'all still in this dead space.
Okay. So
So
who normally asks for the relationship though,
who normally
or
asks for the
who
relationship?
normally accepts the relationship?
The woman.
Okay. Who asks for the relationship?
The ask for the relationship. The
Yes. Like
woman.
who allows the relationships to happen? Majority of the time.
Majority of the time, the man. Is that what
Thank
you're
you.
saying?
So
Okay.
if
Okay.
the man allows it to happen, don't he control the access to it happening?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. You make a point. You make a point.
You make a
I'll
point.
let you have it.
I'll let you have that one. All right, let's continue.
just said it's 50. We both have to work. So if that's the case, you in your sex scenario, you'd have to work yourself up to sex with us, and men are ready to have sex almost immediately.
Mhm.
So, do you feel like
How
women
old are you?
don't have to prove
How
them?
old are you?
I am 33.
I like to talk in terms of think instead of feel.
Okay.
Okay, so your question again is what?
My question is, why do you not feel like men, well, why do you not think that men should prove themselves to women?
Because you don't propose, we do.
Correct. Okay. I can see that.
Okay,
And
let me ask you. Let me ask you. When you go to for a job interview, is it on you to prove yourself worthy for the job, or is it for the company to sell you on the position?
both.
What's
It,
paramount though? What's paramount though?
it was paramount.
Yes, let's not play games, 33-year-old woman. You think it's more okay, so let me get this right.
Dang.
Okay, while I pause this, for you personally,
Uh
do
huh.
you in your personal life do you
Mm-hmm.
tend to go after people and get them, or they go after you and get you?
I honestly think it's both ways.
Really? So which
Yeah.
one is like the majority of the ways though?
Majority of the time, it's gonna be the opposite. Like somebody coming to me.
Okay, and then for that to happen, for when that happens,
Mm-hmm.
do you go through, I guess, a process of going to dating and vetting, etc., for them to, sexual and then relationships and shit?
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I think like my biggest thing I think that I like go through is like I don't let anybody come to my house. Like that's like the biggest thing. So like
Okay.
it still is like a whole process. Like we have to go out.
Yeah.
Like I have to see the other side before I can fully let you in.
Okay.
And then still I feel like once you get to that point, like you still constantly learn someone
Okay.
every day. So like you have to go through seasons with somebody, see them at their worst, see them at their best.
Okay. So at what point do you allow them to, I guess, to come to your house when y'all in a relationship, or do you
It
just
doesn't
know
necessarily
them
have to
now?
be a relationship, but I think just at a point where like we're both comfortable. Cause like me saying that you can't come to my house isn't like, oh, you can't come to my house, but I can come to yours.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a mutual thing, like where when we get to the point where we both feel like we can be in each other's personal space
Okay.
a lot, then
Okay.
at that point.
Okay. All right.
The way you're talking is what a top candidate would do. I said a
Okay.
job. A job.
So, you
So
don't feel like a woman is a top candidate?
again, think. See, this is the problem. You ladies act like you have more leverage than you do.
I'm not saying that.
All right, talk to me. You, go ahead.
I mean, so like I get the point that he's making, but I don't know. It like
Talk to me. Talk to me.
so I don't know if it's maybe our generation and just the fact that like we just kind of lazy now, but I don't like.
I would say
women-
lazy. I would say
Yeah.
entitled. I would say
Okay,
overvalued.
yeah,
I would
yup.
say a lot of these different things. To abundance of options. So it's delusion of options, and you think that you have options when it's only sexual options.
Correct.
So when you say, I break down why do you feel that way, or why do you think that way?
Because
Like,
him
what's going
saying
through your mind?
like basically saying that like women have more, or what women think they have more leverage than they actually do. Because I mean, we still going back to the point like you just said, like there's options, like abundance of options, whether it be sexual or relationship wise. So it's like if I sit here and I say no to one person, is somebody around the corner who gonna accept, you know, something, or like you gonna say yes to somebody at the end of the day.
Okay.
Or dang, I just lost my train of thought.
No, go ahead.
No, so yeah, so basically, so like, I don't know. I think there's leverage on both sides. Like it really goes.
Okay.
Both
But
ways.
do you think that a man gains more leverage after he has sex?
No, not necessarily.
Really? Think about it for a second. So when it comes to relationships and you just meet a guy, isn't he always chasing you, like trying to chase after you and trying to take you out to eat, and you like, man, I don't know about you, blah blah blah, and then he finally gets you and have sex, and it kind of becomes equal, and sometimes even more so, the woman is chasing him now. You don't believe that to be true?
Yes, a little
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
I don't know,
But-
because I feel like
I hear
like
but.
sex isn't the determining factor. So it's like just because I have sex with you doesn't mean like it's just open this door for opportunity for everything.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Tell
So
me.
like you just said, like sex would be like the leverage points. Like once like sex is on the table and it's happened, like tables kind of turn.
They
and
do.
so, like,
Yeah.
for some people, yeah.
I would say for most people.
Can't relate. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I think it depends. Like it's not really a leverage point or an access point. Yes,
Okay.
you get closer to somebody by the time, like after you have sex with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but you can still have sex with somebody and it's terrible and that's just the end of it. Like
Well, true, but I'm saying generally speaking, once a woman is invested that much time and effort, whatever, and then she has sex, give her body, etc., the leverage typically turns to the other way for them. Now the woman is more on the man than she was before. That's what I'm saying. Now, obviously, if the nigga got fucking small ass dick or his dick game trash as fuck, then yeah, that'll turn it off. But generally speaking, a lot of women turn leverage towards the men after sex happens. Do you find that to be true?
a little bit.
All right.
No, I mean, so if like stereotypically, like majority of people, yes.
But
There's no but.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm
I
waiting.
wasn't gonna have a but this
all
time.
right.
No, I think yeah, majority wise, yes, that's true. However, I still think like in terms of his point about leverage, women still kind of have more leverage than a man does. Like, because I mean, like in terms of anything, like women still kind of allow the access for things to happen.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but it's incorrect. Generally speaking, after sex happened, the guy tends to get more leverage than the woman because now he's already gotten what he was chasing after. Typically,
I mean, yeah. So if that's it, then that's it. That's just
no. Here's the problem that I have because that's not it. The problem lies in now it's your turn to perform.
okay.
That's where the problem lies in. So just like a woman is the access to sex, right? So it's on the guy to perform. Men are the access to relationships, so now it's on the girl to perform. And most of the time, girls don't want to perform, especially nowadays.
I don't think that. Cause
All
I
right,
mean,
talk to me.
I feel like women are more intentional. Like women pay attention to more details than men do.
Okay.
It's like you could be sitting here one day talking about whatever you're talking about something that you've seen, that you like, that you wanted to get or whatever, or that you want to do, try, etc. And it could be the smallest detail. You could just be talking.
Yeah.
A woman gonna pick up on that and
Okay.
in her head start processing, okay, let me see what I could do to make it happen.
Okay.
I can sit here and tell you all day, oh, only thing I want is flowers, 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 yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, oh, okay, cool. And it's going to be 6 months and I'm still not going to have no type of flowers whatsoever. And it's the one thing I said, like.
I got you, but that's a different topic. That's something that's a little bit off topic, but I understand what you're saying.
My point is, to circle back, to make it
Okay.
make sense. So yes, while the woman, I guess, is doing more so, if you want to say that, to like allow the relationship to happen, or to like make the man comfortable enough to want to have the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, there's a point in time where like the man gets lazy and isn't doing enough
Yeah.
after having sex.
That's
like
what
if
that's
that's
my
all.
point.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
ultimately my point. After sex happens,
Yeah.
the man becomes a little bit more
Stagnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't even
Yeah.
use the word stagnant. I would use the word not putting in as much effort.
Well, yeah, but I would say stagnant though, because it's not like all the time the effort decreases. It just kind of stays at the same level it was at. So sometimes it'll decrease, but sometimes it'll just maintain. Like it just stays.
This is a slightly different topic, but I actually disagree. Because a lot of times when a man is chasing a woman, he's got his best foot forward. He's make sure he says the right things. He's moved the right steps. He's taking her out on dates, etc. Then when sex happens, he tends to be more so, hey, just come to the crib this time. Hey, just come hang out. So effort decreases in a sense.
Okay.
But it has to, because now it's on her to bring the effort and the investments and the things to the table, so that way the relationship can actually form.
So then at what point does it level back out? Or at what point is it supposed to level back out?
That's a good question.
Because I mean, like you just said, this dynamic change. So if, you know, in the courting stage, before sex even happens, the man is sitting here doing more. Sex happens. Now the woman is sitting here doing more. At what point during the whole process?
Fantastic question. Phenomenal question. It happens once he decides she's worthy for a relationship.
So at what point does a man decide they're ready for a relationship?
It depends on that man.
You think so?
I know so. What you mean? I think so. I know so. Most guys are going to put you through a vetting process to be in a relationship with. Most guys just want to have, I wouldn't say just. Most guys are just aiming for sex. Correct. And if you bring value to their life, then they're going to have a relationship, etc. And that's when you should bring back the effort, etc. Because now it's a more so 100% versus, oh, I first started and now it's her turn and now we equal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You said a woman's a top candidate. I'm talking about women in general.
I said, do you not think that a woman is a top candidate?
That by the question you're asking is, do I think all women are top candidates?
Do you not feel that way?
No. Are
way?
you serious?
I could agree
Are
with
you
that.
all 10s?
You said what?
I could agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about
That's
to say.
it.
No.
I'm about to say.
But still, okay, you're going to be a 10 in that guy's eyes. The
No,
man
you're
that
not.
you
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Okay.
You said you were married?
Yes, I was married.
And who filed for, and you're divorced now?
Who filed for divorce?
I did. We
Who
were
filed
from
for
two
divorce?
cultures.
Huh?
Here's what I did. I filed for divorce.
Why?
Or it's because we were from two different cultures. He was from Ghana, I was from here.
That doesn't matter.
How long were you married?
This
This is a great question for you, actually. From your last, let's just say 3 relationships, who broke up with who?
Last one, it was me.
Okay.
Like the last one was me. The one before that was me. Then the one before that one, I think was him.
Okay. And and I want to be very clear. He broke up as in just he's like, hey, I'm done with you, versus he did something to make the relationship break up.
Correct.
Okay. Right.
6 years.
Then 2 different cultures that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Thanks.
He started resenting me after I did not want to have children until I was finished.
Well, duh.
Another one of those women. Another one of these women who want to put their degree and their job and all this other stuff before life. Okay.
But I did say I do agree. I do regret it now, looking back on it, because I didn't have to work through my graduate.
So let me ask you, how long you been divorced?
I've been divorced since I was 27.
No, I mean, I don't.
Okay, so that's a good
5
question for
years,
you as well.
6?
Are you single now?
Yeah.
And how long have you been single?
Well, okay. So let's define single.
Oh,
Well, no.
God.
Like let's talk about it. So like single.
Let's talk about it.
Single as in like not in a relationship, or single as in
Single as
not
in you do
entertaining
not
anybody?
have, a woman is always entertaining a guy. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck.
No.
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 Yes.
No.
99.9% of women are always entertaining some type of dude to some degree. Whether it's you going on food dates with a nigga and not having sex with him, whether you were just hanging out with a dude, you are always entertaining. Even if you just have male friends, that's still entertaining dudes, in my personal opinion. Yes. 100%. If you got an Instagram and you messaging niggas back, that's message you on Instagram. That's still entertaining dudes.
Different. But anyway, go ahead. So you said single as in not in a relationship. So yes. And wait, what was the last question?
The last question was for how long?
Oh, what month are we in? Since like February.
Oh, so okay, so recent type shit. Okay, and then what was your?
Mm-hmm.
And then what was your longest relationship? Time wise.
4 years.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, ma'am. How many years?
So
Yeah, do that. Huh?
5 years.
5 years.
8.
And you were married for 6 years.
Yes.
So that's 11 years. You're 33. So you're married for 6 years.
Yes.
You've been divorced for 5 years. That's 11 years total. So that means you got off the dating scene at around 21 or 22.
Yes.
All right. So in the last 5 years, how many proposals have you fielded from valuable men?
None.
There you go. Because your value is lower.
Damn.
You had a man, you left him for a ridiculous reason.
Thanks.
And are you honestly thinking at 33, a productive, competitive, successful, a man of the caliber who's a marrying man has to come prove something to you at 33?
I feel like I proved.
All right, we can pause it on this. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what he's saying, and do you agree with what he's saying?
Yes, I understand what he's saying. I agree with what he's saying in a circuit, like in terms of her age. Yes, like you done already been through life, basically. Like you've been through marriage, you've been through divorce, you've had enough years in a marriage, enough years after a marriage in a divorce. Mm-hmm. So for you to want somebody to prove something to you, you already have your expectations at a certain point. It shouldn't really be anything being proven. Okay.
So now, final question for you. Mm-hmm. Do you think that men have to prove themselves to you?
Do I think
men or is vice versa, or is it a two-way streak, or is it a one-way streak for you personally?
No, it's two-way.
Okay. And then how so?
Two-way, because I think I could sit here and say something all day. He could sit here and say something all day, but if the actions don't prove it.
Yeah. Okay, so give me some examples of how a guy will prove himself. Is it through how much money he makes, his status, his height, his discipline in the gym, his character? Like, what is it?
I think proof is literally just discipline. It's, what you're asking for in a relationship. So, like, it goes towards how you want somebody to prove themselves to you. So,
but that's what I'm asking you. So, how do you want?
Me personally?
Yes, you personally, yes.
Oh, so, I'm really big on actions. I'm big on action. So, if you say you're going to do something, then, I'd want you to follow through and do it. Or, if you say you feel a certain way, I would want your actions to prove you're saying that. So, you could sit here and tell somebody you love them all day.
Yeah.
Or that you miss them, but you're not calling, you're not texting back.
Gotcha.
And, people work all day. We ain't got to talk all day. We ain't got nothing to talk about all day. That's fine. But it's if you going from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, and you're be like, oh, I miss you. Where was you at during your lunch break? Where was you at, So it's small stuff like that.
So just be congruent with your actions and words.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So like you said, congruent with your actions and words, and then intentional. So it's don't just say something you think I want to hear. Mm-hmm. If it's actually how you feel, then all right, cool. Now how do you back that up? And I think prove is a weird word because you shouldn't have to prove anything to somebody. But I think you should your stuff should match up with what you're saying. No,
I wholeheartedly disagree. You definitely have to prove yourself to people. You have to understand that you got to prove yourself. Hey, you're not a creep. You're not a psychopath. You can actually take care of a woman. You are a good person, etc. That's still proving yourself to a woman to some degree, and vice versa. Okay. You're proving that you're not a hoe. You're proving that you can be attractive for a long period of time.
So in that sense, yes, prove. But I think in terms of trying to prove to somebody you're worthy of their time or relationship is different. I don't know. I can't tell you what word would be better in that instance, but I just feel prove is a weird
So
word.
your problem is just the wording. Okay. I got
Yeah,
you.
no, that's it. That's why I'm
Okay.
like the question is still valid. I'm like, just like in your sense, yes,
Yeah.
prove is ultimately the right word. Like you can't be sitting here letting anybody into your space or whatever, and they not showing you those things like safety things like that. But like in terms of small things, I don't know. Prove is just
Okay, not the right terminology.
yeah. I'm being nitpicky, but yeah.
All right, and then what's your Instagram?
My Instagram, T Daniels with 2 S's.
All right, if you want to follow her, her link will be in the description below. And we out. Peace.